Appreciate the luxury upgrade, darling. Alexander smirked as he strutted through the entryway, casually tossing his designer shades onto the coffee table. He stood there radiating arrogant confidence in his custom-fitted suit and immaculate footwear, his luggage prominently displaying prestigious brand emblems. Premium airfare to continental Europe, exclusive accommodations. This represents the lifestyle I've been deprived of, Rebecca. I couldn't contain my amusement, erupting into spontaneous laughter. What's so entertaining? He snapped, his expression darkening. Oh, Alexander, I responded, shaking my head with a knowing smile. You remain completely unaware of what you've actually done. I'm Rebecca, 34 years old, employed in information security. For 7 years, I've been married to someone who ultimately revealed himself as a walking embodiment of relationship caution signs disguised beneath surface charisma. Alexander consistently played the role of smooth communicator, visionary, and conceptual architect who made every proposition sound brilliant and promising. Meanwhile, I functioned as the implementer, maintaining steady professional advancement while he drifted between undeveloped entrepreneurial concepts. I dismissed numerous warning signals, financial secretiveness, perpetual justifications for income deficiency, because I wanted to believe in our partnership. However, at approximately 2 a.m. last week, Alexander committed an irreversible error that his characteristic charm couldn't resolve. I had been sleeping upstairs when it happened. He presumably waited until confirming my unconscious state before descending to access my personal computer. My professional background in cybersecurity had trained me to monitor potential digital threats, though I never anticipated needing these skills within my own household. That evening, Alexander utilized my laptop to access one of my payment cards, copying essential information, capturing digital images with his mobile device, then returning to bed as if nothing unusual had transpired. The following morning, while enjoying my breakfast coffee, I noticed an unusual volume of security notifications on my smartphone. Opening my financial application revealed almost $50,000 in unauthorized charges, exclusive clothing purchases, premium timepieces, first-class international travel to France. My initial shock quickly transformed into understanding as everything aligned perfectly. Alexander was undoubtedly responsible. Yet rather than panicking, I experienced unexpected satisfaction. The payment card he'd compromised wasn't connected to my personal finances, but was actually a simulation account linked to a professional training program I conduct. This specialized financial instrument was specifically designed to educate corporations about fraud detection and response protocols. Every transaction automatically generates security alerts forwarded directly to appropriate authorities. Alexander had inadvertently transformed himself into a perfect educational example. I contacted my attorney, Vanessa, immediately that morning, detailing the entire situation. Her professional composure momentarily dissolved into genuine amusement as she processed the magnificent irony. Alexander had unwittingly selected the single worst possible financial instrument to compromise, one specifically engineered for identifying fraudulent activity, with every transaction automatically flagged for investigation. Throughout the subsequent week, I maintained strategic silence, observing Alexander's escalating financial misappropriation. He left a brief message on our kitchen counter stating he required personal time and not to expect his return, which transparently translated to utilizing stolen financial access for international indulgence. Each evening, I monitored the accumulating fraud notifications, exclusive restaurants, premier accommodations, extravagant retail excursions, each alert representing another element of inevitable consequence. 3 days into his unauthorized spending pattern, I received communication from Investigator Bennett, the federal officer assigned to the case, confirming they had identified substantial fraudulent activity connected to my account. Without hesitation, I confirmed my husband's responsibility, explaining the specialized nature of the compromised financial instrument. The investigator expressed remarkable professional admiration for this unprecedented situation, requesting formal documentation while confirming Alexander's serious legal position. When Alexander eventually returned, his self-importance inflated through a week of unearned luxury. I awaited his arrival fully prepared. He entered our living space projecting nonchalance, proudly displaying the material evidence of his financial misconduct. His confident acknowledgement of the upgrade, coupled with his cocky expression, triggered irrepressible laughter from me, clearly not the reaction he had anticipated. Alexander's obvious confusion and irritation at my response created a perfect moment of transition, as I simply informed him that comprehension would follow shortly. He deposited his premium travel bag onto our flooring with deliberate dramatic effect, removing his tailored outerwear, while casually suggesting I should have revealed this financial resource earlier, imagining the shared enjoyment we might have experienced. Maintaining composed posture against our kitchen counter, I inquired about his anticipated resolution for this situation. His response revealed astonishing presumption, dismissing potential consequences by characterizing me as excessively financially cautious, suggesting I could easily afford his expenditures, and asserting I would eventually accept everything once witnessing his resulting happiness. His breathtaking audacity might have provoked anger if it weren't so pathetically transparent. Each moment of his continued boasting merely strengthened the inevitable accountability awaiting him. When I questioned whether he genuinely believed the watches, international travel, and exclusive accommodations represented intended gifts from me, his response reflected absolute certainty rather than speculation. He knew it represented my overdue financial relaxation. My deliberately ambiguous smile revealed nothing as he disappeared into our bathroom, humming obliviously while I messaged Vanessa confirming his return and readiness to proceed with formal action. Throughout the preceding week, Vanessa and investigator Bennett had meticulously constructed the case against Alexander. Every movement had been documented, each transaction carefully recorded, from exclusive boutique purchases to premium European accommodations. His extravagance created a comprehensive portrait of someone believing themselves beyond accountability. Alexander remained completely unaware of the extensive digital evidence accumulated through the specialized fraud detection system, which had already initiated comprehensive investigation procedures. Investigator Bennett had recommended allowing Alexander to proceed uninterrupted, suggesting his increasing confidence would ultimately strengthen the case against him. Now, listening to his off-key musical accompaniment echoing from our bathroom, I experienced remarkable emotional clarity. For years, I had permitted him to exploit my trust, generosity, and stability, but this situation would finally deliver appropriate consequences for underestimating me. When Alexander emerged wrapped in premium bath linens, projecting carefree confidence, he sprawled across our sofa and began extracting an expensive gold timepiece from his travel bag. He launched into elaborate descriptions of Parisian experiences, highlighting exclusive retail establishments and premium dining venues with exaggerated nostalgic reverence. Every statement functioned as unintentional self-incrimination, building the case against him without his awareness, while I discreetly recorded the entire conversation for investigative documentation. The climax of his unintentional confession arrived with his smug assertion that nobody suspected anything, particularly me, revealing his complete misunderstanding of the situation's reality. The following morning, Vanessa and I reviewed the comprehensive timeline, confirming the case's exceptional strength through combined evidence, automated fraud notifications, documented charges, and his recorded self-incriminating statements. Investigator Bennett confirmed imminent questioning proceedings coordinated with local authorities for formal arrest procedures. Alexander faced multiple serious charges, including financial fraud, identity theft, and unauthorized financial account access. Given the substantial amount involved, consequences would be significant, potentially including incarceration depending on legal strategy decisions. While some might expect emotional conflict regarding these developments, I recognize this represented not merely isolated poor judgment, but a consistent pattern of selfish entitlement that I had overlooked for far too long. That evening, as Alexander reclined scrolling through his mobile device, the distinctive sound of official knocking at our entrance signaled the culmination of events. Opening the door revealed Investigator Bennett accompanied by uniformed officers requesting Alexander's presence for formal questioning regarding multiple counts of credit card fraud and unauthorized financial account access. Alexander's instantaneous transformation from confident to panicked was remarkable, his complexion draining completely as he scrambled for explanation, seeking my support against these mistaken accusations. My crossed-arm posture and slight head tilt communicated everything necessary as officers processed him toward their vehicle despite his continued protests about marital loyalty expectations. My response highlighted the irony, questioning whether husbands were similarly exempt from stealing from wives, suggesting mutual educational benefit from this experience. Alexander's departing expression shifted from desperate to furious as officers escorted him from the premises, leaving profound silence in his absence. Following initial questioning, Vanessa updated me regarding Alexander's predicable strategy, attempting to position himself as victimized while claiming authorized access to the financial instrument. This approach quickly collapsed against overwhelming evidence including fraud notifications, documented charges, and recorded self-incrimination. Investigator Bennett later confirmed case progression, detailing Alexander's continued attempts to deflect responsibility through claimed ignorance regarding the account's specialized fraud detection function. Formal charges proceeded based on substantial evidence, with luxury purchases already flagged for reversal through consumer protection programs, eliminating any personal financial liability from the situation. The investigator's professional acknowledgement of my handling of the situation reinforced the validity of my approach, while Alexander's carefully constructed social persona rapidly disintegrated as information about his arrest circulated among mutual acquaintances. His suspected extramarital romantic connection apparently dissolved immediately upon learning about the charges, while his financial assets faced freezing and his premium purchases underwent confiscation. An unexpected communication attempt from Alexander revealed his dramatically altered demeanor, his voice subdued and depleted as he desperately sought conversation. My response consisted primarily of acknowledging the genuine nature of his situation, attempting to misappropriate $50,000 while expecting continued blind forgiveness. His remarkable response questioning my emotional commitment received appropriately direct dismissal, distinguishing between love for the person I believed him to be versus the individual capable of theft, deception, and anticipated impunity. Alexander ultimately accepted a legal compromise arrangement avoiding incarceration but requiring complete financial restitution, community service obligations, and long-term credit consequences, a particularly appropriate outcome given his obsession with superficial luxury and status. This resolution highlighted the profound disconnect between the perceived and actual foundations of our relationship, revealing my consistent supportive role contrasted against his parasitic presence. The arrival of final divorce documentation represented not merely the conclusion of a marriage, but liberation from persistent manipulation. Ethan's absence created not emptiness, but spaciousness, an environment free from constant misdirection and selfishness. Professional and personal support helped navigate this transition toward genuine independence. For years, I had permitted external definition of relationship parameters, believing compromise preserved harmony. This experience revealed that superficial peace built upon suppression and accommodation represented no peace at all. The modest envelope containing legal dissolution documentation represented monumental personal transformation, acknowledging the discrepancy between anticipated partnership and revealed reality, while embracing the unexpected strength discovered through adversity. Subsequent personal evolution included environmental reclamation through redecorating with personally meaningful elements, pursuing previously deferred independent travel experiences, and establishing authentic self-prioritization. Alexander's continued communication attempts through various channels received appropriate non-engagement, while occasional indirect updates confirmed his ongoing struggles establishing employment and rebuilding reputation while fulfilling financial obligations from his parents' residence. Standing by my apartment window weeks later, observing urban activity while enjoying morning coffee, I experienced profound appreciation for my transformed environment, freshly painted in preferred color, free from conflict, filled with potential. The journey toward this moment had required acknowledging warning signs previously ignored, embracing difficult decisions, and recognizing personal worth beyond relationship status. Meeting friends for weekend meals became regular practice, focusing conversation on future possibilities rather than past difficulties. Professional advancement continued while planning extended personal travel to peaceful mountain locations. Decisions made exclusively for personal benefit, without compromise or second-guessing. Alexander's final communication attempt arrived as lengthy electronic correspondence filled with self-serving apology that received minimal attention before permanent deletion without response. External closure proved unnecessary compared to internal resolution already achieved. Quiet evening reflection with quality wine on my private balcony allowed contemplation of the complete experience, betrayal, heartbreak, and reclamation, recognizing that while challenging, these developments ultimately proved beneficial. Anger and resentment had transformed into unexpected gratitude for the forced confrontation with personal strength, boundary establishment, and self-prioritization. The lessons emerged with perfect clarity: trust instincts, value independence, and never surrender personal autonomy. Raising my glass toward the evening sky, I acknowledged this private celebration of myself and new beginnings, permanently concluding Alexander's chapter while embracing whatever possibilities awaited beyond.